misogyny.
That's why we can have toxic
Hold on. Misogyny, there's no such
masculinity.
thing as toxic masculinity. There's misogyny, right? Then there's masculinity, being a man. Then there's femininity. Then there's feminism, which is the same thing as misogyny. So the other word for feminism, or the opposite of misogyny, is misandry. So there's a misandrist movement and there's a misogynist movement, right? And in the middle, there are two complementary movements, that of masculinity and that of femininity. Now, femininity means submitting. If your husband is voting, let's say your husband is voting for IFP, why do you need to go to the voting poll, Yompigis?
Okay. So my point is the feminism movement should proceed, and it's doing very well for the economy, because now we have black women who are educated, we have black women who are in high position jobs. You know what I'm trying to say? Now,
Lovely.
yes, lovely.
You know what you didn't say? You didn't say you have black women that are happy.
Yes, we have.
Because they've got nothing tangible to actually show that feminism is a good thing. Why is the gender pay gap a lie? Because the only reason that there is a gender pay gap is that the highest paid people in all of society are married men.
Not the prize. You see, you're a misogynist. That's why.
Look at me.
Not as a misogynist. That's why he believes men are the prize. How are men the prize? Do men give birth to kids?
They don't need to.
They don't need to, and women have
because
to.
women need to catch up.
No,
So they
because
give
that's the
birth so they
gift.
can be at the level of the prize.
No.
When a woman goes up in life, she seeks independence. When a man goes up in life, he seeks legacy. He wants a family.
Okay.
He wants children. He wants people that will depend
Tell me
on
something.
him.
Tell me
That's what
something.
women want.
I think
wait.
you also need to understand that there's different types of feminists. There's traditional feminists, there's a modern feminist.
And then there's trust. So I can absolutely understand why Buntle feels like she's got a catch. She's got the man that all of the baddies wanted. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't think
and
there's
guess what she got out of him? She got a ring out of him. She got commitment out of him. So as far as Buntle is sitting, she's sitting pretty. She won. She's got the prize. Do you understand? And
No,
she's willing
she's
to
the
do
prize.
well, you can think that. You
She's the
can believe
prize.
that. Well, you can believe that. But, you know, that's why she has to bring home the bacon.
She doesn't have to. She chooses to.
To keep
She
the
doesn't
prize.
have to.
keep the
She
prize.
doesn't have to. I don't think. Actually, I would like to respond on her behalf. I don't think this has anything to do with pretty ugly being the prize. There's so many pretty niggas that she can get. I mean, she's already.
Can you get one?
Yes, I can.
Can you get one? Why?
Oh, I can. Can I ask you a question, Nota?
Yeah.
What do you think a woman's role in society should be?
To provide children.
To provide children.
Yes.
Because you see women as baby making machines.
No, I see them as special. I see them as designed by God to have special talents that no man can ever possess. And now, feminism ended up becoming the LGBTQ movement. And now, feminism has been completely usurped because the LGBTQ movement has gone to the stage of LGBTQ. Remember, at first it was LGB when it started. And now that it's completely usurped feminism, it is now the LGBTQ movement where men are fighting for the right to be called women. There's no such thing as a Zulu feminist, I'll tell you that much.
I actually am a feminist, but I want women
But you're Zulu.
I want women to actually get the right.
Why don't you want to say that you're Zulu? Now, what I'm trying to say is that it's a civilizational risk to give women political equality with men. Why? Because women perform different roles. And one of the gender roles is voting for political leadership. And women should not have to take that gender role. Because you've seen what those votes have materialized into. First, you gave women the right to vote, and now all of a sudden a man and a man can get married.
Today's topic is about feminism. The question is, what's wrong? If there is anything wrong with people being a feminist, in fact. Is there anything wrong? Has anybody said there's something wrong? Definitely not. But let's look at the impact of feminism, right? It has been said that feminism started as early as, is it the 18th or 19th century? It has evolved over the years. When it started, it represented something else. But over the years, feminism kept evolving. Today, it represents something different. Kim, what's your take on this topic, feminism? Just your opening statement.
Okay, firstly, my opening statement, I would like to share what feminism is. Feminism is a movement that advocates for women's equalities and rights for men and women. So feminism does not aim to be superior to men or to be more than men. It just aims to be equal or have equal opportunities. Why did feminism start? It started because women were denied basic rights such as voting, owning properties, education, and etc. So that's why feminism started. The feminism movement started in the first place. And as much as it has, I don't know if I should say improved throughout the years, but feminism has attacked different angles throughout the years. I mean, today we are in a position where feminism represents strong women who want to have equal rights as men, or who want to be in a position that a man can be in, which is really not wrong. I think the way feminism is projected is 100% wrong, because feminism is projected in a way where that people think that when a woman is a feminist, she hates men and she's anti-men, and that's very incorrect. When someone is a feminist, they are anti-discrimination, so they want equal rights and opportunities for men and women.
Thank you. No. The night is still young. The night is still young. Nota, core values of feminism, they are basically saying they are not necessarily anti-man, and what's your take, your opening statement?
Well, so feminism starts as the suffrage movement, and the suffrage movement was about political equality or political equity for women. Women wanted the right to vote as well, and the movement had genuine grievances that were aired out, and it shared a timeline with the abolition movement to abolish slavery. The issue with the abolition movement is that it came before the suffrage movement for women to have political rights. So the women who were advocating for both abolition and for universal suffrage or women's suffrage ended up being sidelined by the abolition movement, and then they formed their own organization on the fringes, which represented the rights of women. Now, the abolition of slavery movement culminated in the end of the Civil War, or towards the end of the Civil War, in Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. That was, I think, on the 19th or 20th of January, 1865. Maybe a couple of months before he was killed, and 6 or 7 months before the war eventually ended between the Confederacy and the Union soldiers, right? So when you look at the feminist movement and its origins, it was sidelined because there was another more important movement.
I wanna pause you there.
Yes.
I wanna pause you there. Kim, feminism movement was sidelined as Unota was still explaining, and I stopped you intentional now because I didn't give you enough time to speak. Right? Do you want to lecture us about feminism deep as a female? I want to take it away from Nota and give it to you.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I've already stated the origin of feminism, and if you ask me, feminism has helped men. And it's helped women also, because now men have less pressure. I mean, if we both have equal pay, if I'm getting paid 50,000 and Notsa's getting paid 50,000, and we are in the same household, that's less pressure for him, because men always complain about, being providers and having to. He wants to interject, and I hope he keeps quiet. So when if we have two pays in a household, that makes it life really better for both the men and the female. So I really don't understand, this anti-feminism movement against men, that men have against women. Because at the end of the day, feminism doesn't just help women; it also helps men and helps the society as well. Because if we're given access to equal rights, if women have rights to own properties, right, and to do all of these things, then we have a situation where women are not dependent on men, and men have less pressure. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay. Nota.
So I think that, we forget about the origins of the actual feminist movement.
Okay.
and that was about women's right to vote.
It was not. That was not the
That's
only
the
thing.
original suffrage movement.
Equal
It's
pay
called-
also.
No. Those came later.
Owning
because
property
Those
also.
came later.
No, why are you focusing on the one that you want to focus on?
I'm starting
Focus
at the
on-
origins.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I'm starting with the origins because
must state
it's where
all
it
of the-
started. So the sidelining of the feminist movement by the abolition movement, right, pitted them against one another. The women's suffrage movement only included white women. So the owners of land, the owners of property, the educated class, the elite, right? Their wives led that movement because they wanted more rights within their own household and more rights to determine their own lives, right? So that's where the movement originated. It would take another 106 years, right, from the time that the suffrage movement was established at Seneca Falls, right, in 1869, with Frederick Douglass in attendance, a very prominent abolitionist and one of the allies of Abraham Lincoln, even 8th Avenue in Harlem and Manhattan is named after Frederick Douglass. So when they were pushed aside from the right to vote, they then decided to make their plea more urgent than the abolition movement. The abolition movement wasn't just about abolishing slavery. It was abolishing a system which treated black people or the enslaved class as subhuman. So they wanted human rights as well. And it would take another 100 years, right, or 99 years from the time that the Civil War ended to the passing of the Civil Rights Act. Now, the Civil Rights Act gave black people, minorities, and other groups additional rights as well. Women benefited from that. When the abolition of slavery happened, right, black people couldn't be kept as property anymore. And therefore, there needed to be another way to protect the elite classes' women. And that's why the suffrage movement was then supported by the elite classes' male figures, right? And therefore, you can see that the suffrage movement was about usurping the rights of black men in particular, or black people in general, right? So was the civil rights movement a leapfrog for women's rights to the benefit of white women. And that has also eventually culminated some 60 or so odd years later, or maybe let's say 55 years later, right? In DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which has been a way to include minorities. And guess who is also regarded as a minority? White women. So throughout all of these movements, each and every single one of these movements has always been about putting the rights of white women ahead of all the other subjugated classes. And that is the real reason for the suffrage movement, for universal suffrage also being extended to black people as well as a concept, because now that you've given white women suffrage, at least give black men suffrage, you know what I mean? So that they can be the heads of their black households now that you're allowing them to be people and to have families.
Okay. I want to pause. Wait, okay. I want to give you this time. Mm-hmm. You're not only going to respond to Nota, but you are also going to lecture us. So we are yours.
Yeah.
Singabako.
I think Nota mentioning that. What's in?
You don't know that
you
guy.
didn't get it.
Okay.
He's the spokesperson of correctional services.
No,
Yeah, that's fine. So, Nota spoke about how the feminist movement or the feminism movement supports white women. 100% correct. But now, can you only imagine how bad it is for black women, because they have to suffer gender oppression and they have to suffer from racial oppression. So you may say that, this was just a white woman thing and whatever you may say, but it benefited black women because now black women are in a position where they're able to have access to a lot of things and they are not receiving oppression as they were. So if you may think of, or we may use apartheid as an example, apartheid hit very hard on the black community, but it hit harder on black women because black women, how so? Because black women were only allowed to work domestic jobs.
Nice and easy, comfortable.
Nice and easy.
In
That's
a
not what
household.
we wanted, though. That's why we fight for gender equality, because
That's why
we
you
do
fought,
not
so
feel
that
like,
your husbands could be brought up from kilometers
because
under the
we
belly
don't
of the
feel,
earth.
because we don't feel like the only time a woman is good is for the kitchen or to take care of babies.
I understand, but when a
Yes.
man is now stuck underground
And
to
let's
dig up
just
the
use,
gold
let me
that
just
he will
use the
never
simple,
ever wear.
You know, when women are given access to things, they don't take it for granted. For example, let's look at the matric pass rates.
Mm-hmm.
How many more females passed more than males?
Yeah, it's because now they can pass with mass literacy.
No, it's not. Even men can pass with mass literacy. Why aren't they passing?
Okay, why are
so
60,
my point is
hold
women.
on, why are 60%?
I'm not done talking.
60%
so
of the
my
STEM
point is
students
women
are
fought
women,
for equality,
but only
and
34%
are we using what we're
pass.
fighting for?
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Continue.
Thank you.
No. I just want to get you that stat.
I'm not
60%
done.
of
So
the
you
STEM
respond
students,
when
hold
I'm
on,
done.
60% of the STEM students are women. Out of the ones that pass, only 34% are women. So they start with a cohort of 60%, right? But when it comes to now finishing their STEM science or STEM field qualifications, right? 76% or 66% of those that pass are men, even though they only make up 40% of the candidacy cohort.
Okay, it's fine. Nota has responded, but continue.
So my point is, feminism did make a huge impact in the world because women have access to education and they're using that very wisely. That's why we have more women who are educated in this country. And even though
With
women
maths
have
lit.
access, it's fine with maths lit. Women have access to jobs, but those jobs are low paying, meaning that the feminist movement still needs to proceed. And maybe in the next 10 years, women will be respected for their qualifications, because we're still in a society where women are not respected, even though they study nursing, even though they study teaching.
I mean, choosing
because
nursing
they
and
know,
wanting to be highly paid.
Because they know, yes.
I mean, like, why don't you
Nurses
become a
work
doctor?
hard.
But doctors earn more.
Doctors earn more.
Yes, but it's harder to
Very brilliant.
It's harder
as
to
a
go to
black
school and
woman, it's
qualify as a
It's
doctor.
actually harder to be accepted in universities for.
How?
Okay, let's
It's
check
easier,
that.
actually. Yes, it's easier. It's much easier.
Let's check the vid statistics.
Okay. We are deviating.
Check them.
Guys. We are deviating.
We're
We are deviating
from the topic because he does not want to let me talk.
Tangit my singakusiza now. Ngiyakuprotect. We are protected. Okay. Listen, I want you to finish, ne? So we can now, because I've got questions for both of you.
Okay. So my point is the feminism movement should proceed, and it's doing very well for the economy because now we have black women who are educated. We have black women who are in high position jobs. You know what I'm trying to say? Now,
Lovely.
yes, lovely.
You know what you didn't say? You didn't say you have black women that are happy.
Yes, we have.
Tell me black women are happy.
I think they're
Tell me
very.
they're happy.
There's a
Tell me they're happy.
significant. There's a huge. There's a majority number of
You've
black
never
women
seen-
who are happy.
You've never seen a black woman on TikTok, right, in a taxi crying. But show me the ones in cars.
because they are.
You don't see them crying in a taxi. But
Oh well,
the ones
because
that
they don't have a
cars,
choice.
the
They
ones that
don't have a
cars,
choice.
I'm just
So
saying.
are you trying to say that black women need to be in taxis and black women need
be
to?
happy?
They need to
Maybe.
be. So black women need poverty to be happy.
No, they need a driver. They don't need to be driving themselves.
Okay. All right. So, okay, guys, I just need you guys to answer me on this specific question.
Yes.
2 minutes each.
Yeah.
Is from up to so far based on what you have presented, based on what you have presented,
Yes.
not what you will present.
Yes.
Is feminism a good thing or not?
It's
Yes.
a terrible thing.
I'm coming to you.
And he should give
And
us
I'll
a
tell you why.
reason why it's
Listen,
And I'll
terrible.
tell you why.
Let's see.
Okay.
And
I
I'll
know,
give you only one
I'm
response.
coming to you. I'm coming to
Sorry.
you. I'll give you enough time. Nota.
Feminism is
Nota.
a bad thing.
Nota.
Yes.
Based on
give me
what
2
we
minutes,
have,
right?
Based on yes.
Yes.
No.
I've got
I'll still gonna give you a comeback. So
Yeah. Based on what we've submitted, yes.
so I wanna be fair to you. So answer me the question. Based on what we have so far, do you think based on what you have presented so far, do you think feminism is a good or bad thing?
Okay, I'll take it from what she has said and show you why it's a bad thing, right? She spoke about a gender pay gap, right? The gender pay gap is a complete lie. It's a complete fallacy. And guess
It's
who
not a
created... No,
complete
I'll
lie.
tell you why.
Okay.
Guess who created that fallacy? Feminism created that fallacy. Why did they create that fallacy, right? Because they've got nothing tangible to actually show that feminism is a good thing. Why is the gender pay gap a lie? Because the only reason that there is a gender pay gap is that the highest paid people in all of society are married men.
Men in general.
No, married men.
It's still men.
No. Married men earn the most, right? Then women earn.
So in an interview or
unmarried
CV, they
men,
ask
single
you,
men
are you
earn the
married?
least. Do you understand
Okay,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
coming to you. I'll give you a time.
Now, she said that you should pay men and women equally. The reason why that is foolish is because women don't have the expectation to provide for families. And if you pay a man and a woman equally, right, the woman's income will benefit her. The man's income will benefit his family. How do we prove this, right? Okay, let me show you in a simple way, right? When a woman goes up in life, she seeks independence. When a man goes up in life, he seeks legacy. He wants a family.
Okay.
He wants children. He wants people that will depend on him. When a woman makes it in life, again, I will repeat so that you get my point. She wants independence.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, you deep in your thoughts. I understand. Ne? Here's your chance.
Is feminism a good
Is feminism a good or bad thing? Now, please, I want to emphasize, based on what have been presented so far, not what you will present.
Yeah, it's absolutely 100% a good thing. It promotes equality. It protects women against violence. It empowers people in general. So, in my opinion, feminism is a very good thing.
Do you want to add anything?
No.
Okay, it's fine. Nota, you said quite a number of things. You know what Nota says. I want you to respond to Nota. And please help me here. I want to make sense of what he said. He says that look, the hierarchy of things is that married men and the highest earners. Second, women. Third, single what men?
Single men.
So, tell me something. Do you have a problem with this? Because for me,
I don't think.
I'll give you the chance. Do you have a problem with this, or do you think it's a good or bad idea? You know why? Because I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, here you've got married men. That means there are people look, he's got dependency.
A wife dependent on him.
And children.
A woman.
Okay. All right. So he's got dependency. Then women. These women, Nota did not classify or not necessarily give us details whether they are single or married. It's just that married men and then women and then single men. You understand? So we have the clear identity of the two, except this bracket, the women. So do you think it's a good or bad idea? He will clarify whether the ones in the middle are single or independent women or who are single or married.
I don't believe there is any company where you are being interviewed for a job. They ask you, "Are you a married man?"
Yes, they do. Every company. Yes.
Oh, okay, brilliant. I don't think that should affect.
That affects whether you get a job.
It shouldn't affect your pay. It shouldn't affect your pay. And actually, as feminists,
you are protected, Kim.
women fight for equality so that a man does not have to be a provider, so that women can provide for themselves.
So
women can provide for themselves. So they can provide for themselves and their children. And their children.
Wait, Nota. Wait, we are protected, Kim. We are on the platform to continue speaking until you're done.
So I was saying that if women, or the reason women are fighting for equality is so that they don't have to be dependent on a man, so that they can have their own paycheck, so that if Unota, for example, as the head of the household, says, "Baby, I'm stressed this month, this is happening, then I can say, "No, don't worry, I have your back." Recently, Ubuntle Mudisela and Pretty Ugly were on Altito's podcast.
Interview.
Yes, and they were talking about, and I 100% agree with her, because they are so. I'm not done talking.
Okay.
Please give me an opportunity to talk.
Okay.
So when you look at women like her, isn't she in such a happy relationship? Because she doesn't care what society says. She works hard for her money, and he works hard, and she knows that. She said something about it being seasonal. She said that this month or this term of our life or this phase of our life, I can be the provider in the house, and I don't mind that. You know, that's why we're fighting for 50-50, because I feel like if a woman is fighting for equality, she shouldn't mind having to pay the bills. And she said that, and they're in such a happy relationship. And
wow, quite interesting. She shouldn't mind paying the bill.
Yes.
Just there, but continue.
Yes. And then Pretty Ugly is just sitting there, and he's just agreeing with his wife. He's just happy because he knows that he begged a 100% good wife, because when he's low, she's up for him. And that's what feminists should be fighting for.
Okay, I like the ending. You said that's what feminism should be fighting for.
Yeah.
I like that. But wait, no.
Yeah.
She said that at the end, she said that's what feminism should be fighting for.
I want to
How
respond
many
to her
women?
first. I
How
want to
many
respond to her
women
first.
who gain independency and then behaved the exact same way Bontle is behaving?
Very few.
No. I want Nota to
Okay.
answer me that.
Okay.
Answer that question
let
for
me give
me.
you a background on Buntle. Buntle's got 4.3 million followers on Instagram. Right? Does the average South African woman have 4.3 million followers on Instagram?
No.
What percentage of South African women have got more than 1 million followers on Instagram? Out of all the women?
I don't know. I'll
Let's
be
just
lying.
say there's 35 or 34, 33 million women in South Africa. Right? There's a handful of them. You understand? It's not even 1/100%. Right? So she is a complete anomaly. And when someone is a complete anomaly, you cannot now ascribe the things that they are doing or saying to normal people or the
Why?
average person
Why?
because they're a complete anomaly. You understand? Another thing is that Buntle's got a hero origin story. Right? Is it a hero origin or a villain? I don't know. Hero origin story. Her father committed suicide. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is a child that lost the only man that loved her unconditionally from the moment she was born, right? To something as tragic as suicide. Her relationship with the next father figure that comes into her life, which would be her husband, right? That's the chosen father figure that she will now bring into her life, cannot be seen as any normal relationship because she's got past traumas, right, that dictate to how she would treat this man. Now, I think the last thing that she would want is the same fate that befell her own father to befall her husband because he's too stressed or etc., etc. He's got financial pressures and everyone else. So she comes from a very unique situation that gave her the perspective that she has right
She
now.
actually said that she looks up to her mother because her mother had to do everything and be a hero for
Without her father
without her
being-
father.
and now-
so I think what we can say about Ubuntu is that most young black women should actually try to be like her because then
No.
they're
I don't think that one should lose their father as a
This
mark
has
of
nothing
honor.
to. This
It
has nothing
everything
to do with that. It has everything to
She
do
is
with the
proud
type of
her
woman
mother
she
being
is.
able to survive
But-
a husband that took his own
And
life.
I think her
right?
daughter is gonna be proud that
No,
my
okay,
mom is
now let me
Buntle
continue
Mudisela.
before you get completely into my mouth, right?
Okay.
Now, she does not want the same fate that befell her mother to befall her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who knows the guilt that her mother felt as well, that her parents weren't able, or her and her partner weren't able to resolve things. He wasn't able to get things together. You understand what I'm saying? Who knows the untold trauma of discovering your father having killed himself? As a child, thinking that your father loves you more than anything in this world, yet he didn't want to continue life and be there with you. He's not there to walk you down the aisle. All of those things, the milestones that she's missed. She comes from a very unique position, and I think we should congratulate her for overcoming all the traumas that she has had in her life. Now, let's talk about Ricky. Not Ricky Rick, Ricardo. Pretty ugly. So
I think anyone, regardless of gender, can provide for a family.
listen,
I think that should be a normal
I'll give you
thing.
all the rope you need. Don't worry. Wait.
We're
Let
still
me-
coming to you.
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
have questions for you.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something, so I'll give you
Yeah.
a chance.
So-
Don't worry, me. I'm gonna be fair to you. I will allow you to speak until you remember last time I gave you until you said I'm fine, Bones. Then I jumped to him.
So when Pretty Ugly was a dancer, like, okay, I I actually knew him. I knew Pretty Ugly was a dancer, right? This is actually before I knew that he was a rapper, he made music. So when he was a dancer and dancing, master of rhythm, I observed him. He's a pretty boy. You know, he was very well loved by women. Women loved him, right? Women were attracted to him everywhere. Every woman wanted him, right? And then I went and lived in the East Rand, right? And then he'd become a rapper by that point in time. I'd never heard any of his rap songs, but I'd heard all the women in the East Rand going crazy about this guy called Pretty Ugly. Like any group of girls I'd ever hang out with, they'd always be like, yo, do you know Pretty Ugly? Do you know Pretty Ugly? Oh, let me play your songs. I'd be like, no, don't play me any of his songs. I never heard any of his songs because I never allowed any woman to play his songs. But I understood that women love this guy. So I can absolutely understand why Buntle feels like she's got a catch. She's got the man that all of the baddies wanted. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't think
and
there's
guess what she got out of him? She got a ring out of him. She got commitment out of him. So as far as Buntle is sitting, she's sitting pretty. She won. She's got the prize. Do you understand? And
No,
she's willing
she's
to
the
do
prize.
well, you can think that. You
She's
can
the
believe
prize.
that. Well, you can believe that. But, that's why she has to bring home the bacon.
She doesn't have to. She chooses to.
To keep
She
the
doesn't
prize.
have to.
To keep the
she
prize.
doesn't have to. I don't think. Actually, I would like to respond on her behalf. I don't think this has anything to do with Pretty Ugly being the prize. There's so many pretty niggas that she can get. I mean, she's already.
Can you get one?
Yes, I can.
Can you get one? One yourself.
I can.
Yourself.
I can. I've had one actually.
And where's the ring? Where's the ring? We're not talking about one that's gonna conquer you. We're talking about one that's gonna give you commitment.
Okay, now
let
I'm
me
trying
tell
to
you
finish
something.
what I was
hold
trying
on.
to say.
Women do not marry pretty men because pretty men
I
don't just choose
want
anyone.
to marry a pretty man.
Because you can't bag one.
I've got access to so many pretty men.
But can they marry you?
I don't want them to marry me.
That's the only.
So
having
no.
a man
No.
means having a ring. Having
This is-
a
this is-
boyfriend or letting a guy go
this is his
through
problem.
you,
Okay.
it means
This
being a
is his
body.
problem.
Alright,
I'm
alright,
saying to him
alright,
Gonna be a
that
body or a mommy?
Ubuntle
Buntle is a mommy.
Ubuntle is the
alright,
prize.
She's not a
alright.
body.
She
Alright,
is the prize,
alright.
and she's
Why is she
taking.
why is she the prize? Because she gave birth to his children
Point
now.
of order.
But he was the prize from the
He was
beginning.
never the
house.
prize.
Okay.
Order
She's
in the
Always,
house.
she's always been the
Order,
prize. That's
comrades.
why you know why
Order,
she's the prize,
comrades.
because now she can even
Order.
take care of this man.
Order,
She
comrades.
loves
Who
him.
says she's taking
She
care of him?
loves
No, they work
him.
together.
She loves
I
him.
wouldn't say
Okay.
that she's taking care of him.
Oh,
She
alright.
said that on the interview.
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to say what she
Alright.
said. She
She's
said that
saying
she
that-
doesn't mind
Yes.
doing
Doesn't.
it.
So
So when she
being a
does
breadwinner.
that,
We are saying
yes,
she's the breadwinner.
but she doesn't mind being the breadwinner.
Producer, we
That's
are
why
switch
she
off.
is the prize.
Producer, we
I'm
must
just
switch
saying.
off
And it's
the
not
mic.
about her begging a pretty
Producer, we
man.
must switch
It's
off the
about the
mic.
type of values that
It's
she
about
has
you.
as a.
Begging a pretty
Alright,
man.
No,
alright.
it's about the
Nota,
values
Nota.
that she
Okay,
has
fine.
as a woman.
Oh, man. No, it's fine.
It's the values that she has
My
as a
dad is
woman.
pretty.
And I
Kim.
think that most young
And he's
black
the
women
prize.
should look up to her. He's
And
not
my
the
mom
prize.
bagged him.
You see, you're a misogynist. That's why.
Look at me.
Not as a misogynist. That's why he
Kim.
believes men
Kim.
are the prize. How
Look
are
at
men the
me.
prize?
Look
Do
at
men
me.
give birth to
Kim.
kids?
Kim.
They don't need to.
They don't.
Kim.
They don't need to, and women have
because
to.
women need to catch up.
No,
Kim.
because
Give
that's the
birth so they
gift.
can be at the
Kim.
level of the prize.
No,
Nota.
men can
Nota.
never be the
Whoa.
prize.
Whoa.
That's why ilobolo iyiswa kuphi
Kim.
to the woman's house.
Kim. Kim.
Oh yeah, he can't.
Kim.
Okay.
Kim. I'm here.
Okay.
You want to respond. They want to hear what you are saying.
But he's fighting
You are
me.
wait. You are responding. You are talking. You are talking. You are talking. And the chair is busy saying, "Order, comrade," and you are not listening to the chair.
Nigga shorter than her. He's the prize.
Must you look? It must.
What
it
is wrong
lead
with
to
you?
suspension.
What is so hard with
could
you
be
giving her
suspended for
flowers?
The
this.
nigga is so pretty.
Give her her flowers. Say Buntle
He's got a
Mudisela, you
woman
are the
that's taller than him.
prize. Okay, Bukbangan,
That's how pretty
can
that
I?
nigga is.
Okay.
Manje ufuna protection game.
The nigga is so pretty. He called himself ugly.
Mina ngithemba ngithi ngiyakhuluma la.
I'm
ukhuluma
saying,
na.
can you give her her
Whoa,
flowers?
Whoa.
She can get them from her
Nota,
husband.
Whoa. You respond. With peace, now we are protected. Not the case Benigyon. Now we are protected. Respond.
Buntle Mudisela is the prize because number one, she's an independent woman and she gives that man love and she's a mother. So if she would come out and say she's a feminist, I would 100% support her because she's fighting for equality and she doesn't even mind taking care of the household because that's what she believes in. And you say, no, she begged. No, he's not the prize. She is. She has access to any man she wants right now, even with those kids. They will still want her. You know why? Because she can support those kids and she can support herself. And I believe that a lot of young black women should admire and aspire to be like her.
Okay. You have said something, I will have to ask you questions. Whenever there's matters that are unclarified or that will cause confusion, definitely I will ask you a question. How many women who, after having children, they can confidently say, men they want me, not just to sleep with me, but they want to marry me? How many women, in general, who, no matter their beauty, no matter their success, how many women who will confidently say, I'm pretty, I've got 3, 4, 5 children, and men want me not just to sleep with me, but to commit?
It's very few.
Okay. Nota, you want to say something?
I don't need to say it anymore.
Can I ask you a question, Nota?
Yeah.
What do you think a woman's role in society should be?
To provide children.
To provide children?
Yes.
Because you see women as baby-making machines.
No, I see them as special. I see them as designed by God to have special talents that no man can ever possess. I see them being the vessels by which new life is introduced into our society and our civilization. And I think that the work that women do is so important that they're disgracing themselves by having ambitions to become men.
No, they don't have ambitions to become men. They have ambitions to work hard and to see themselves in high positions, to see themselves doing better.
Which
Women
high
want to.
positions?
What do you mean? Which
The positions
high positions
created by men. So they want to be men.
Even the system was designed by men,
And therefore-
and you still have a problem with
They
the
want
system.
a share of that system, and they don't want to build
They
their own system.
they admire to change the system because the system is not working in anyone's favor.
Imagine if-
It's not
Kim
working
and
in
Nota,
your
right?
favor.
Kim
It's not
and
working in
Nota,
my favor.
Okay.
So then,
No, I'll tell you, there's two things men can change. They can change
Kim
your
and
pH
Nota,
level, and they can change your
Kim and
cycle.
Nota,
Do you
Nota,
want men to have even more
Nota,
power to change
Nota,
things for women?
Nota,
No. So why do you want women to change things for men?
Nota, comrades. I understand, comrades, and I don't have a problem with you going like each other. I don't have a problem, and but you must look at the chair. Sometimes I allow you guys because it's debate, but when the chair gets in the platform on the ground, guys, you must listen to the chair there. Come on.
And by the way, women don't want to be men.
Kim, I want to make progress now.
Yeah,
go
we've
on.
been at it for some time.
So okay, guys. So if feminism then, yeah. Look, you see, we spoke about feminism then. You understand? But then, progress. Now let's take it a bit further now, before we get into what it is today. I think we need to cover that. There's a period that we haven't covered there. Mm-hmm. You gave us history back then. Mm-hmm. Take us fast forward before the 20th century, 21st century. I want us to cover that period before the 20th or 21st century where I believe things changed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's cover that period, Nota. What was feminism representing then?
Well, again, it was about what were the struggle of white women at the time. So they wanted universal suffrage. I think they got that delivered to them in either 1919 or 1920, right? And then they wanted also other rights, like to be able to run businesses, own credit cards, and they got that in 1975. So funny that they got that maybe 2 years after they got the right to kill their babies before they're born, right? And then after that, feminism had won every single thing that it wanted from the beginning. Now they needed to find a new problem. And guess what that problem was? Whether they wanted to be straight or not. And that's when the LGBTQ movement came in. And now feminism ended up becoming the LGBTQ movement. And now feminism has been completely usurped because the LGBTQ movement has gone to the stage of LGBTQ. Remember, at first it was LGB. When it started. And now that it's completely usurped feminism, it is now the LGBTQ movement where men are fighting for the right to be called women.
Okay. All right. What was feminism representing just before 20 to the 21st century, up to the 21st century? Because I think he has entered the 21st century. Mm-hmm. So take us from there and then let's move into the 21st century.
Historically, feminism was for fighting for legal rights, and it was also fighting for women's suffrage and workplace rights. And throughout the years, we've had women fight for reproductive rights. What do I mean by that? He touched that women now have the right to kill their babies. It's not killing their babies, by the way. Women now have rights to their own bodies, which they didn't have. Women now have rights to contraceptives. Women have rights to abortion. Why is it so important that women have rights to abortion and contraceptive pills? Because then if a woman is not ready to be a mother, or a woman is not ready to give birth to a baby, she has the choice of not giving birth to that baby. So throughout the years, feminism has been protecting women and women's rights and women's bodies.
Okay. So
thank goodness your mother didn't exercise that right.
Thank goodness that I have a choice.
So that we could have this debate today.
Thank God that I have the...
I'm just saying.
But that's a compliment, though. All right.
I'll take it.
All right. The funny part about the debate is that, we can fight, but we're not necessarily fighting. But we're fighting. It's a debate at the end of the day. Tell me something here. So 21st century, what are we representing?
21st century... feminism has just become a broad movement. It has online activism, and we have movements like the Me Too movement. We have women now fighting for literally anything they want to fight for. And I'm actually against the 21st century feminism because it represents...
Been taken over by the trannies.
It represents the concept of feminism very wrong, because now it's a we hate men movement, and that's not a movement that smart women should be involved in. Why would you hate men? Because men have to marry you, and you have to be happy with men. So what feminism has become today is totally something that I don't agree with, and I wish that we had strong feminists and strong leaders who fight for the actual feminism.
Yeah, I know feminism is failing. Let me tell you something about feminism. There's something that feminism does not coincide with: Zulu genes. She's got too many Zulu genes. I can see that the mother's genes are trying there with their feminism, but the Zulu genes are fighting back, saying, no, God, no. Zulu women, you can always trust them.
Get it?
I do get it, but
the Zuluness in you now is coming out.
It's like, feminism.
You are trying to suppress the Zuluness, and the Zuluness is like,
no, actually,
I'm not gonna die.
There's no such thing as a Zulu feminist. I'll tell you that much.
I actually am a feminist, but I want women.
But you're Zulu.
I want women to actually get the right.
Why don't you want to say that you're Zulu?
I am Zulu.
It doesn't match. As soon as she lets the feminist know she's Zulu, then
he's cooking you there.
He is.
Who's another Zulu woman?
I don't
Jacinta.
know.
You saw her there. She was failing to be feminist. Zulu woman.
You know, man. You know what? I wasn't planning this deviation, but I think let's entertain it for a minute.
We can't give Nota that.
No. There's something funny about this thing. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at the product from KZN, the female product from KZN,
wife material,
it doesn't seem to promote the same feminism spirit in Gauteng, to be specific, or Cape Town. It looks like the females in KZN, Jacinta Ngobese, you name them.
Nandi
Nandi. The women in KZN seems to be standing for something different, man. And I personally resonate with what they are saying. Like, Jacinta, that woman is clear, man. When she speaks, she's clear. Jacinta Ngobese, when she speaks,
let me tell you something. There's only one true feminist in South Africa. That's Tsonga women. Tsonga women are so feminist that they created Amashangan. So once they merged, right, with the Zulus, the Ndwandwes, and everything else, right, and they married, and then Usopuza gave them land, and then they created the Shangan kingdom, right? Those women refused for their children to speak isiZulu. And that's why Amashangani speak Tsonga, our language, which is not their language culturally because they're a different tribe now, right? They're assimilated into the Zulu tribe. But they speak a different language from us solely because Tsonga women refused to be assimilated, refused to learn another language. And, it's probably one of the reasons why I've never dated fellow Tsonga women. Well, I've never dated a Tsonga woman. It's because I don't know if you've ever met a Tsonga woman. Tsonga women don't have kindness. They don't have kind words. You know what I mean? Everything is a fight with them. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if you saw, there was some video clip that was trending with this guy. He bought the wrong KFC. He brought the wrong order from KFC. You know what I mean? And his wife is swearing at him, everything else. She'll probably eat that KFC, and keep quiet. You know what I mean? But, Tsonga women are not really too kind with their words. They're very harsh. They're very feminist in the way they do things.
All right. Tell me something. Did you notice the product from KZN, the female product from KZN, like what KZN is exporting to the country? You hardly find one that is fighting for the same things that the ones in Joburg are fighting for, the ones in Cape Town are fighting for. Why does it seem like feminism in KZN is just different thing, man?
I think culture plays a huge role in the way one will be. So the core values of being a Zulu woman, they'll teach you about you need to be submissive to your man, you need to respect your man. And I 100% agree with all of these things. And as much as I agree with being submissive to a man, it doesn't mean that I can't agree with being, with having equal opportunities to men and having access to rights and all of those things. So I think that actually the reason I would like to stand for feminism in my own way is because I want young black ladies to understand that being a feminist does not mean that you have to hate men, but it does mean that you want equal opportunities for yourself and you want better for yourself. And as much as you want better for yourself, that doesn't mean that you don't get to be submissive. I'm 100% in the mind of I don't mind waking up in the morning and going to work every day and making more money even than my husband and still coming back and being submissive to my man, because that's not what I was fighting for in the first place. I was fighting for what? I was fighting for equality.
Okay, so but you do agree that the feminisms that we have now, I don't want to lie, I'm just being honest with you. The moment people batibona, I'm a feminist, I'll be like, hey, I'm a man.
Yeah.
Because of the things they represent.
Yeah.
One of the problems that I have is when a person preach feminism, it is never in the context of collaboration or cooperation or collaboration, either way. Yeah. But it's never like me and my man. It's always me, I'm strong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, bazo rape, uzokhala ukuthi angikuvikeli. But mawune mali, umkhulu than me. So the moment you whether you are bigger than me, now that you have money, then it's fine. Go into the world, let the world see what it will do to you. When you have problems, don't complain. But I feel indebted when you say to me, we are collaborating, look, we are in this marriage, we are together. I feel indebted. I must protect you. I feel indebted to such people, but not to someone I'm equal to. Because we are equal. Why do you? I'm saying equal in the sense of that spirit. I get where you're coming from, and I don't have a problem with you, with what you've just said now. I'm saying the other side. The moment you say we are equal, ngaleso spirit, I'll be like, oh, okay, it's fine. Makufika abantu bakushaya. Ngizokubuka bakushaya. Ngathi you are equal.
Take it like a man.
We are equal.
I think society promotes toxic feminism as much as they promote misogyny. And I think that if women would actually be honest, 100% honest about things, because we have women who come to the workplace who are CEOs and they want to make themselves look very strong to black women or to young black women and say, oh yeah, I'm so strong, I carry my household. And if they're happy, they don't carry their households. Women get to be CEOs of companies and they still have to go back to their husbands and be submissive, because that's how you keep a happy household. Men do have a superior role in society to play, and I don't think that should be taken away from men. I don't think men should be stripped of their role of being providers and protectors. The only reason that feminism should be considered and should continue is because women need to be protected more because of their vulnerability according to biology.
Bayakhala kuma comment bathi she's not representing the other side very well. Uyabona manje uyamuzwa uthini?
No,
according to others,
I completely disagree with everything she said.
According to others, bathi udakiwe ngazi yini lo mphuzise wona wadanga ngoba lento ayikhulumayo ngathi according to abanye.
No.
They don't want to hear the truth.
I completely disagree. There's no such thing as toxic femininity.
Okay.
Because that is tautology. That is when you say a word that means the same thing as another word and you use both the words. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like saying very, very. You already said very once.
So you're trying to say feminism on its own is just toxic?
It's the same thing. It's, you know what I mean?
To you, according to you.
Toxicity and feminism is the same thing.
No, it's
there's
not.
Femininity, right? Then there's feminism, right? Feminism and toxicity is the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Masculinity and femininity are the two things that are on the opposite, right? Misogyny.
That's why we can have toxic masculinity.
There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's misogyny, right? Then there's masculinity, being a man. Then there's femininity. Then there's feminism, which is the same thing as misogyny. So the other word for feminism, or the opposite of misogyny, is misandry. So there's a misandrist movement and there's a misogynist movement, right? And in the middle, there are two complementary movements. that of masculinity and that of femininity. Now, femininity means submitting. If your husband is voting, let's say your husband is voting for IFP, why do you need to go to the voting poll, Yom Piggies?
Because you have a choice.
Why do you need a choice if you are submitting?
So you think women don't deserve to have choices?
Okay, cool.
I'll come back
no,
to
wait.
you.
That was one question. I want to go on to the next part of the same question, right? Now, if we look at societal outcomes, right? Women have got the highest stress level that they've ever had in all of humanity. From the time that they were slaves, from the time that they were being beaten and it wasn't a crime, for the time where, they were kept in breeding camps, during slavery, they kept women in breeding camps. They used to breed them and all that type of stuff, right? Women are more stressed now. They've got more cortisol in their blood than ever before. And this is tested because they test the skulls of women, right? And inside the skulls, you can see the remnants of what was inside the brain. And in the brain, you can see what hormones, what was happening mentally with women. So women are more mentally distressed now that they are going to the workplace, that they're in offices, that they're having to deal with workplace stress, than at the time where their husbands dealt with all that stress, right? That is the thing. Now, the other thing is that male suicides are also at their highest. Marriages at the highest failure rate, with women having more agency, more rights, everything else in society that we saw as good and wholesome, right, as part of our conservative values, is disintegrating. And why is it disintegrating? Because more and more women are making decisions. Now, women cannot even choose the right fathers for their children at this day and age. Why is that? Because they've got birth control. What did birth control do? It gave men access to sex without commitment. Because in the past, they didn't have birth control, right? And that's in the past where you still had to wait 6 months before a woman said yes to you sleeping with her. That's how long you'd have to wait to sleep with her, because she needed to know that you're going to marry her or something. You know what I mean? Or maybe she'd make you even wait a year and wait until you commit and say you're going to marry her. Now women can have casual sex, casual hookups, they can fall pregnant to the wrong guys. They don't need to use any discernment. So now that they're using less discernment, or now that there's less consequences for not having discernment, they're completely abandoning discernment altogether. You're seeing that by the fact that their marriages do not last. They make the wrong choices when it comes to making long-term decisions. They don't choose the right things. They're easily manipulatable. They're emotionally motivated as well. So those are all the things that disqualify women from making sound, logical, reasoned decisions that can help us progress as a society. Another thing about women is that women are selfish. Women always advocate for things that will benefit them and them alone. The spin-off benefits are not actually benefits. The mere fact that men have got more easy access to sex is bad. It's not a benefit for men. The mere fact that more men are being given sex, it's a bad thing for men to get sex that they do not deserve. You had to earn sex. You had to earn the right to sleep with a woman back in the past. Sometimes you had to kill people. You had to go to war and come back. Sound. You understand what I'm saying? So all of those things have now fallen away. So men don't have to rise up to the same level that they needed to rise up to be inspiring to women in the past. Now any Tom, Dick, and Harry is slanging it around. You know what I mean? Making babies randomly, not committing. The standards have been dropped for men. And therefore, men are sinking to their training, because you never rise to the occasion. You always sink to your training. And the training that we've been given is that there are no consequences and people can abort children if they want to. You understand what I'm saying?
All right. You said something that is still lingering in my mind. You said that you don't have a problem with submission. What is submission?
Submission is you being comfortable to listening to what someone else has to say, or you being able to be confident in letting someone else be superior.
Okay. So then, he said, I spoke about voting. The husband goes and vote for IFP. You go to the voting poll and then you oppose him. You vote for the ANC.
I'm not opposing him. I'm exercising my right to vote.
The
only time I can oppose my husband is when we're in our household. My husband does not get to control my life, but he does get to control our household and gets to point things out to me as his wife, but when we're going to real life, I don't think that should.
So the house is not real life.
It is
The
real life,
husband
but
is not
that's our
real
marriage. That's our marriage.
It's not real. It's made up.
Is that what you think?
I mean, that's why you have fairy tale weddings, right?
Is that what you believe?
I'm just saying. I'm observing.
Okay.
Those
Tell
are the
me so-
demands of women.
Tell me something.
That's what women want.
I think
wait.
you also need to understand that there's different types of feminists. There's traditional feminists, there's modern feminists.
And then there's transgenders. That's the ultimate feminist.
There's what?
Transgenders.
Which is okay.
That's the ultimate feminist.
Which is okay.
Okay, can you please
Which
break
is
it down
okay.
again? You said there are different types of feminism.
Traditional feminists, and those are the women who fight for equality but still don't mind being submissive to their men. Those are
Don't
the
mind gender roles.
Yes, because I do believe that if we get to a place where women and men are 100% equal, it'll be a disaster in the economy. It'll be a disaster
That's
in
quite
society.
interesting. I want to hear this.
What do I mean by that? If women and men are now 100% equal, women, I don't think things like GBV will now become a big deal because now we have stated each other to be equal. So if you slap me, then it's not a problem. The only problem with that is that you are just attacking me in general. You understand what I'm saying? So
I see
I don't
where
want
you're going.
men and women to 100% be equal. That's not what I'm aiming for as a feminist. And that's not how I would like the world to be 10 years from now or 5 years from now. Because then that just strips away the love and the role play into everything, and it's like, will the next generation of human beings even experience a marriage? Because now we are having people fight for the most absurd things ever. Women are fighting to be men, and that's 100% wrong, because if women are fighting to be men, our kids in the future are going to have father figures and mother figures. Are they going to know the difference between the two? So I think it's very
Are they going to
important.
know how special women are?
Yes. Are they going to know how important fathers are or how special fathers are? So my vision as a feminist is just to have women to be protected, have equal opportunities, but not for them to be 100% equal to men, because that's gonna be a state of disaster.
You're right. I'll tell you why. Ne? So this other time, my sister was sick. So I took my sister so I had to drop everything. Then I took my sister, took her car. I was like, okay, listen. She was acting strong. She doesn't tell me that she's admitted. She tells me probably two days that I'm like, listen, with this condition, we had to do an operation. And I don't want to divulge what she went through, but believe you me, they had to take something away from her body. You know that that's serious. And you didn't tell me all of this. You tell me when you're at the hospital. You are now have to go under the knife there. And I'm angry. So for me to take an Uber here, going to where she was, it was 700 rand. So I went there, came back, following day, went there. And so now we are busy on this process. So I went and I took her car, Jeep, drove the Jeep during those days. So to me, I don't want to be paid to move her around. I'll work and then go do something for her because she's sick, and then work. Yeah. To me, I take pride in that. Don't want you to pay me for that.
Yes.
I feel I'm fulfilling my
You're
responsibility in life. But I'll tell you this. The moment you're too strong, what independent, even the day when Uchu Yakula, I'll be like,
Yeah.
she's strong. You'll carry it. You understand? Because you are eliminating my usefulness towards you. You know, now if you can beat my sister, if she can say some Nota ungishayile manje, even if I'm scared of Nota, no, you touch my sister.
Yeah,
I'm going
that's
there.
why I'm saying I really
I'll
don't
rather
want
die
to.
in your hands.
Yeah,
I beat up bouncers at Taboo. That's how we became friends. You understand what I'm saying? I beat them up one day. Good. You understand? Over a woman.
So I don't think men
So
should
now
be
I
stripped
don't go
of that
to
right.
places like Taboo with women, because if you go somewhere with women, they'll start a fight for you. They'll put you in the lion's den. They'll put you in Pretty Ugly's position. Next thing, you'll be sitting on your ass after.
I think Pretty Ugly is very happy in his household.
I know he is. That's why, you
Okay.
know what I mean? I'm just saying.
But
I'm
okay,
just saying.
let's go.
I called him and told him not to do that boxing match.
Do
I
you
said,
think if
I
you would...
told him, I was
No,
like,
let me
pull out of
ask
that match.
you. No,
I
he's
told him.
going to
No, he knows
survive.
that. No, it's all good. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Pretty Ugly. I want to ask you a question. Were you breastfed as a child?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So there are many women now that believe that they don't need to breastfeed, right? And then they feed their children formula and all of these things. Now, the thing about this is that they're defying God, because God created women's breasts to heal children, right? And nourish them specifically. A breast is like a drip. You know, in the drip, they test your blood first at the doctor, and then they give you a drip, and then they inject all the things that you need, all the nutrients into your drip. That's exactly what a breast does. The drip is a replacement for the actual breast.
Okay.
Think about it. A child cannot eat for themselves, right? So what do they have to feed them? A breast, right? A sick person cannot eat for themselves. So what do they have to feed them nourishment? A drip is the exact same thing, except this one doesn't need to go to a lab to go do the blood test to see what nutrients you're missing. This one does it with your saliva, and that's the areola in the breast. So what they've done is that they've stopped women from breastfeeding their children, which is an important part of bonding, which is an important part of healing, and it also heals them as well at the same time. The woman heals the child, and the child also heals the woman. Why? Because the woman is always kept in a state where she needs to be healing a child, so she's regenerating cells the entire time. Why do those cells regenerate? Because they know that she has to feed a child and heal a child, so she needs to be healed herself. Those are things that make women stronger. Women will go against their own biology and make a decision like breastfeeding their children. Do you think people that can make decisions like that, right, deserve the right to vote? Will they choose the right political leaders? Now, what I'm trying to say is that it's a civilizational risk to give women political equality with men. Why? Because women perform different roles. And one of the gender roles is voting for political leadership. And women should not have to take that gender role, because you've seen what those votes have materialized into. First, you gave women the right to vote, and now all of a sudden a man and a man can get married.
Yeah, you want to say something
Not
before
a-
we, because we are now probably a few minutes towards the end of this whole thing.
Can I ask you a question? Who designs or who designed the system?
The elite, rich men.
Thank you.
Yes.
Rich men.
Yes.
Let's forget the fact that they're rich.
No,
it's men.
let's also think about the fact that they eat babies. Let's also think that the fact
But
that
those
they're
are your
pedophiles.
fellow men.
They also marry
Those are
women.
your fellow
Hold on,
men.
they also have wives.
Those are your
So,
fellow men.
they also
So
have
you and
wives.
I should actually be fighting the system. We shouldn't be sitting here and discussing gender roles,
But we
because
can't
you are
fight the system, because
meaning we
feminism
should
is
give women
distracting
we
people.
should give women an opportunity to be put in those positions, because now the only
Okay.
reason we're fighting is because men are in those positions
Now-
and are making the wrong choices, not just only
Kim, I want to ask
for-
you a question.
Okay.
Answer me. If I was fighting the system, right? Can you just sit at home and allow me to have the fight?
No, because as a feminist, I would like to fight also.
Okay.
Why can't I be given the opportunity
now
to
when
fight?
you leave
Because
the
it's what
when
I
you-
want.
When you leave the house, right, and come
I
in-
want to fight with you,
It's
actually.
fine,
I want to
that's good.
support you as my husband
Okay,
and
it's fine.
fight with
Okay,
you and be with you.
Thank you. I don't want a wife like that. Thank you very much that we're not married. So, so
You
while
don't want
you're
a
out
wife
there
who's gonna
fighting
support you?
with me, right? The enemy is busy killing our children. That's it. And that's the sacrifice that black women made in the beginning of the colonial era. While we were fighting the system and going to be sacrificed in the belly of the beast, digging up the gold, digging up these minerals that made South Africa the most valuable mining country in the world's history ever. The most gold that has ever been mined in the world comes from this country. Our wealth has built many nations. All the richest nations in the world pride themselves on wealth that was taken from our soil. Now, that wealth is being extracted at a faster rate than ever before. And guess what? Because our women are not at home. Our women are out here fighting where we are fighting. And guess who they're fighting? They're fighting us and not the system and not the enemy.
Because you
and
guys
not
are,
the elite.
are not fighting the system as well.
We are fighting
you
the
can
system.
Let's just look at.
We're fighting the system,
you're
but
not,
the system came with
you're
bullets.
Not.
The system
You're not
came with
fighting the
bombs.
All right,
system.
all right,
The
all right.
system
Men-
came with
All
missiles.
right,
men are
all right,
fighting
all
women.
right,
Came with
all right.
viruses.
Oh,
Men are
okay.
fighting
You
women.
understand?
All right.
We are
And
victims
guys,
of genocide
and I haven't-
as black men.
Nota Kim.
We are victims of genocide.
Nota Kim. Nota
As
Kim.
victims of genocide, we can't be that wrong.
Nota. Bopa comrade. Guys, you see, the topic that you guys are introducing is a separate topic that we are going to debate. It's called what? Something's got something to do with hate. Do you remember the topic? You don't.
No.
I want us to talk about, but not. It's not the kind like the topic that will follow this episode. We will talk about this thing. Does social media fuel gender hate? What you are talking about, it's gonna be part of that.
Yeah.
For now, The next topic, this one I'm giving you just 1 minute, 1 minute. The next topic is toxic, take a guess.
Masculinity. And he said that doesn't exist.
All right, it's fine, but we'll speak about it as a topic. So
And it's
that's
so
gonna
funny.
be that's
Okay.
gonna be our next conversation. So I'm only gonna give you 1 minute to comment on it, 1 minute to comment on it. But on the next episode, we dive deep into this thing called toxic masculinity. Yeah. You wanna say something?
It doesn't exist. It's
Oh,
a
well.
fabrication. It is made up. And it is the reason why South Africa has got the highest suicide rate in the world, right? And it's got the highest suicide rate with over 70% of those suicides being young men.
Kim?
Toxic masculinity is a bad thing to men in general. And it does exist because now we have men who are being told that being emotional is not a good thing. We have men who are told that their only contribution to society is being protectors and providers and being strong and being not emotional and being strong and being Hulk. That's what toxic masculinity promotes. And as a feminist myself, I do not promote that. Hey, I believe that men can be very emotional. Hey, and I believe men should be given a room to be emotional. And you're talking about suicide. The only reason men commit suicide is because of the pressure that society puts on them.
No, it's because women fail at it.
No, it's because of the pressure.
More women survive suicide attempts than men do.
So are you?
That's it.
Wait. Where'd you get that?
Oh, it's a stat.
Say that.
Yes.
What does it say? Can you please
No,
explain?
it's
Because
a
somebody's
stat.
saying at home, somebody's sitting there watching this video is like, wait, what did Nota say?
The methods that women use to commit suicide are typically taking drugs, overdosing, and then drowning themselves. Whereas with men, it's usually firing guns into their heads, which is very, very lethal, hanging themselves, driving their cars into
Maybe we should
walls and
get
stuff
to
like that.
also ask you, Nota, why do you think men commit suicide?
Okay, maybe we'll
have to
talk
deal with
about it
women.
under toxic.
They have to deal with women? No, it's because they have to deal with the system that they put in place that is
No,
even
black men did not
affecting
put
them.
that system in place, and
But
white
they're happy
people
about-
are 24% of the global population. Thank you very much.
And yet white
Okay,
people
okay.
white
I see-
people don't fight each other. White people are out there still
I see
conquering
Valen.
together.
Wait,
We
wait,
know
wait,
the
wait, wait.
definition of unity.
Are they really people?
No.
Are they really people?
Kim, the last part you said, I don't agree with it. I'll tell you why. I know someone who's living in Croatia as we speak. She's gonna watch this. She told me something. She was like, "Hey, Bongs," she's a black woman married to a man there. She was like, "Hey, Bongs, if you know this side, if you're from England and you come with your
She's from
supremacy
Western Europe.
tendencies, the white people of this country, look of this
Croatia.
other part, they will look at you and they will speak a language that they know you won't understand. It's like here,
Soviet
people
Union.
will speak their language knowing exactly that you don't
don't
understand.
understand.
So there is that thing even among white people. There is that thing they don't want another white person who think they are superior than the other.
Yeah.
In fact,
They're
even
the
here,
most tribalist.
even here,
That's why
in
all the
South-
wars, they killed each other. We've never had wars like Europeans have had wars.
So
You understand?
even here in SA, when you take a look, just pay attention
They're
to
fighting in Russia
when you take a look at
The Afrikaners, the Boers, those are the
no,
different...
The English.
The English.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the
And the
English.
Boers, yes.
It's always that's a battle of supremacy. You understand? It's them trying to be
It's tribalist.
Exactly. So I was just saying I disagree with that other
They
part
project
of
their
Ubuntu. They
tribalism on
are
us.
It's completely-
Ubuntu, they are united. They are not united. Just that when it comes to, I feel like some people unite when it comes to certain things. Maybe black people.
They've got an equal inferiority, and therefore that's when they're challenged by superior beings. That's what brings them together. But other than that, they've got tribalism and disunity like worse than anything we've ever imagined. We've never lived like white people. Like, think about it. We lived all amongst each other as black people. We never needed to invent guns, something that can shoot you from a mile away and kill you. We never needed to invent something like that. You know what I mean? We had arrows, yes, that can blacken out the sun, you know what I mean, and turn day into night before they rain down hell. But we never created the mass destruction weapons that white culture has created. And if you look at white culture, going back to our feminism, right? The reason why the feminist movement has disintegrated in the way it has is that it's led in part by white women. Yes, the people that established it were, white men in an elite group that coerced these women into becoming activists for certain causes, so that they could have a female front or a female face for them. But look at the destruction of white societies. There is no white society that is living happily and that is prospering. You go through Europe, all of Europe is in turmoil. They're fighting immigrants now, they're fighting other people now. You look at the United States of America, which has got an over 50% white population, that is also in turmoil. You look at places like Argentina as well, that is also in turmoil. They've got an over 60% white population there, and they decimated the indigenous black populations there. So what you are seeing, right, is that this feminist movement has led to so many negative externalities, right, that it can only be seen as a level of psychosis, as a contagion, as in our collective consciousness has been hijacked and suppressed for the whims of white women. And white women's tears have never had more power in society than they do right now. All the reforms that we're seeing since 1973 have been reforms that have been pushed for by white women. And the last time black people actually had a reform that materialized into something real was in 1965 when the Civil Rights Act was enacted.
Thank you very much.
I think I would like to,
in the United States,
to give an opportunity to speak on my statement.
I'll give you that opportunity. So you're going to speak on your statement and then your last words.
Okay.
You are free.
I think when I said that white people are more united, I'm still standing on that. Historically, social structures and external pressure prove that. We have a city in South Africa called Orania. I don't know if you know about it. You know about it?
Yes.
Orania is a city where,
they
it's a
commit
place.
incest.
Yes. Okay, besides committing incest, it's just where white people live by themselves.
And they have to commit incest.
And the government allowed that. Why did they allow that? Because white people united and said, this is what we want.
No, white people had a gun to our heads.
Okay, they had a gun to our heads. It still proves my points that they are more united. It still proves that they are more united than black people.
Elections.
Black people don't even fight to be together.
Let me tell you something.
No, give me an opportunity to talk. We've been talking.
Yeah.
Which city do you know
Let's
where
speak
black
facts.
people, it is facts. Orania is just a white-dominated area. And actually, black people are not allowed unless they are there to work. Which city or place do we know? Or place do we know that just black people want to be there on their own?
Everywhere. KwaZulu. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Hold on.
That's my last statement.
I just want to finish.
And your answer is invalid.
Before she has the last words, she asked the question. Let me answer her. Let me tell you something. White people are here in Africa. We wanted to be alone. We didn't go to Europe. Do you understand what I'm saying? They came here to Africa.
Here, and they united here and they were able to make decisions.
They were killing each other over there in Europe. They were dying of diseases. They had no unity. White people have never had unity. That's why they've got so many different tribes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay. And I've only spoken on my statement. I haven't given a closing statement.
I was going back there. I'm a fair chairperson. So I was going to go back there. It's fine.
So I made the example of Orania because it's the only place that we have in South Africa those are the only people that were allowed to do that because they fought for that. I myself have not witnessed a black culture or black tribe or black people in general say, you know what, we just want Soweto to be a black place. Black people love people, man. Let's not dispute that. Black people allow anybody. That's why there's white people in the hood now. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
There's white people in the hood. This is not about my dad. This is a conversation about black people.
Where is he?
So it's like me asking, where is your dad?
My dad
where
is in
your dad? Okay, we're not talking about our fathers.
No, my dad is in Johannesburg. Where's your dad?
My dad is in Mpumalanga right now.
Why?
Because his businesses are there, but we're not talking about my dad. He's from KZN.
Which is?
Which is what? Zulu dominated.
KwaZulu.
And then
there we go, done.
No, we're not done.
Argument is done.
We're not done.
Black people have done
Your
That's
problem
why there's a
is
place called KwaZulu. That's why there's an Ongonyama trust.
They didn't do that. Black people still allow white people because black people have love for every culture.
White people can't own land in Ngonyama land.
Black people have not fought.
White people cannot own Ngonyama land.
The thing is, Nota does not want to be.
Whoa, Nota. Okay. You finish your statement.
So I'm from KZN myself because my father's from KZN. So I'm a KZN baby. And I've never had any of my grandparents say, they actually don't have a problem with them.
Okay.
But white people have a problem with black people in Orania.
Okay.
And my closing statement is that I do I do wish that we have more people who actually want to put knowledge in the young black child, the female child, because women in South Africa are being fed a whole lot of nonsense only for them to self-destruct, and then they have a gotcha moment. You know what I'm trying to say? So I do wish that young black women in this country should be educated on things, and they shouldn't be belittled. Women should have a voice. Their voice should not be silenced. Their voice should not be taken as less than of a man, or in general just not valid.
Okay. Nota, anything you want to say?
Women voted for Matt Slit. Women supported Matt Slit. And now our education system is shit. If you allow women to vote, just prepare for shit to get worse. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. You know what? The system, it is as if like somebody sat there and say, I'm going to design a system where if you are not fighting, in fact, let me say, there are people who are fighting within religion. There's this war within religion. My church is better than your church. My pastor preached better than your pastor. So if you are not fighting that, it's like by design, the person made sure that you are fighting black supremacy. No, you are not from, if you're not Zulu, you are not complete. So if you are Shangana, you are less of a human being. The thing is... okay, but the thing is, there's this war even among black people where you look down on a person from Mozambique or on a person from Zimbabwe. It is as if they don't have the same blood veins and all the stuff.
Exactly.
So there's that there's that thinking amongst us, right? Then, if you are not fighting that, you are now fighting... it's gender war. No, men are better than women. Women are better than men. Like, one way or the other, the system will keep you fighting. If you are not fighting that, you are fighting white versus white. No, we are from England. We are the real white people. There's this war among white people where I think it's about if you don't have this thing in your eye, then you are not a complete white person. So even white people are fighting something there. Yeah. So if you're not fighting that, then it's black on white or white on black. But when you look at this, at the end of it all of us are engaged in a fight. And whether you are in Europe, people in Europe, they have something to fight for.
China's fighting against Taiwan.
Like, everybody is somehow
but they're one country.
Engaged in a fight. The problem with this is that it distracts us from being united just as a family, not as a country, not as a province, not as a
human
tribe.
beings
just,
in general.
Being united with your wife, because your wife, you may have this view, your wife have this view, but now you are engaged. Your wife is somehow engaged in a church fight. My pastor is better than your pastor. The husband is engaged in a different fight. It just keeps the human family in a situation that is so toxic that we can't progress as a family. For me, it creates lack of unity just among the human family. But as the debate progresses, you will notice that we are more concerned about social problems. So, I don't know, I'm told there's something toxic about men and masculinity. I will hear that on the next episode. But until we meet again, good people, please subscribe, like the video, comment in the comment section below. Don't insult us in the comment section below. Even if you don't agree with what we are saying, it's fine.
And if
it's a debate anyway.
If you clip, add the full link, right?
For real. For real. I think what also we need to be, I know I already gave my closing statement, but
the last word.
My last word is that I think we need to stop giving social media power, because social media rewards misogyny and it rewards
misandry.
Yes, it rewards misandry, and it puts the human beings in general in a very tough situation. Because let's use myself as an example. I have so many people attacking me on social media. Not that I care. I have so many people attacking me on social media. Then you actually start to question yourself. Where are the feminists? Where are the purple gang? You know what I'm trying to say? If women attack other women, it only gives men a right to attack other women also. And then you just ask yourself that, are human beings in the right state of mind? Are women in the right state of mind? Are men in the right state of mind? Those are the questions I want people to answer in the comment section.
Okay, yeah, Kim. This is a debate. It's not a war. It's not personal to us. Even if I disagree with her or I disagree with Nota, it's not personal. It's a debate for a reason.
It's just business. Danko.